Imagine playing Monopoly and never buying any assets or investments that generate income. Imagine you just went around collecting $200, giving your money to the rich and trying to stay out of jail. That is how most people live their life. Man, that is such a powerful, simple, visual statement. And that's what I'm going to kind of dive into this video, because I believe things have shifted already within the last 2 weeks. And it's only going to get more and more volatile, more crazy. And if you're sitting on the sidelines or just collecting your paycheck, trying to stay out of jail, you're gonna get wrecked. So stay tuned.
Chasing altcoins feels like throwing darts blindfolded. Every loss hurts and every win is fleeting. Stop the cycle. Bitcoin is the safest bet in crypto, and Drip2BTC makes it even better with high-yield wallets and discounts. Buy Bitcoin, deposit, and earn while you sleep. It's time to build wealth you can count on.
Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Property, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. I've been making videos every single day for the past 4 years now, and like within the past month, just been screaming about the opportunities that's happening and what's going on behind the scenes, and why it's important to listen to other people with bigger risk and bags put up, like your Michael Saylors, your Jack Mallers, your Raoul, and Gareth Soloway for your trading insights on this market. All those people were basically saying the same thing, that we will see a bottom and that there is massive amounts of liquidity that will come. And now all of a sudden, with these recent, just a couple of tweets that I captured, and it all basically boils down to the fact that Trump is able to swing the fear and greed, the narrative, the media, whatever you want to say. He's able to swing that just by putting out some statements. Like, it is just crazy. So there have been a lot of things happen, like the Pope died over the last week. But this chart, everybody's been passing around with M2 money supply. And I showed you guys this before, how this ties together. And I originally thought, because I got that from Virtual Bacon, his thesis, I originally thought that Bitcoin would only rally if we see the Fed M2 or the Fed balance sheet and rates drop. But the Raoul Pal Everything Code thesis shows that this is much bigger than that. And there's liquidity coming from all over the globe, because everybody's playing the same refinance your debt game and kicking the can down the road. So the thesis that Raoul Pal, TLDR, came up with is that in 2008, when everything blew up due to too much leverage in the system, all the banks got together and basically just kind of agreed behind the scenes. The central banks agreed. It's like, hey, here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to preserve the economy in our fiat system. And essentially every 4 years, like clockwork, they have to rebalance, refinance, inject liquidity, whatever different words they come up with, but basically keep the Ponzi scheme going, which means that all countries are debasing their currencies and inflating away their debt. And the dollar is still tied strongly to those countries as well. So what I wanted to show is just like these different articles. I need to go into this one in more detail later, but man, shout out to Jack Mallers. He's basically taken the Michael Saylor strategy on and putting it on steroids, where now you can buy shares of his new company 21, and those shares is literally buying shares of Bitcoin. So the whole point of this is that you will accumulate or get richer in Bitcoin terms, not denominated in fiat. So he created Strike, built solely on Bitcoin, and now this company 21 shares, I think it's 21 shares, I can't remember the full title, is fully backed by Bitcoin as well. I think they started with 42,000 Bitcoin in their coffers for that. So I just want to show, like I said, a couple of these tweets, and then what's awesome to look at is the kind of play-by-play over on Telegram. So we're going to look back at just a couple of clips on Telegram over the last 15 days. So Bitcoin has jumped 22.5% in 15 days. And like I said, Telegram just gives this really good play-by-play. So we got some information about the tariffs generating 21 billion. Jerome Powell saying it's solid and he's not going to be lowering rates, so it's kind of volatile at that state. Saying the debt is not at unsustainable levels, so people are uncertain. Then the stock market got wiped out for $1.5 trillion. Then China's negotiating with Canada. China trolling the U.S. on X. And then this one's going to be funny. We're going to come to this later, but Trump saying Jerome Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. Then he called him a loser on X as well. Nvidia negotiating with China. We'll scroll through a little faster. Trump saying that they're making a deal. We're going to find out, supposedly according to China, that's not true. Then White House studying whether he has ability. Yeah, so Trump looking in to see if he can fire Powell. And then we're getting closer here to where we start to rally. So boom, all of a sudden Bitcoin's at 86,000, 87. Gold hits all-time highs at almost 3,400. China's threatened to retaliate against other nations that are siding with the U.S. for trade deals. Strategy buys more Bitcoin. India to impose 12% steel on China imports, which is interesting because they're part of BRICS. Trump calling Powell a loser. Anyway, this keeps going on and on and on. So the reason I bring this up is because it can shift so quickly. Like in 2 weeks, you had doom and gloom, and then all of a sudden everything's back up. 1.5 trillion wiped out of the stock market, then Bitcoin and the crypto market basically kind of decoupling. Bitcoin taking off to 90, and now we're sitting at like 93, 94. And then all of a sudden we get more bullish posts coming from different people in the industry. Klaus Schwab, stepped down from the WEF. And then this clip coming from China themselves stating that they have not been in any negotiations with the United States. Where is it? China says it's open to resuming trade with the U.S., but then here they say they haven't been talking to the U.S.
近来美方不断是有消息称中美之间正在谈判，甚至将会达成协议。请问您能否证实双方有没有开始谈判？
这些都是假消息。据我了解，中美双方并没有就关税问题进行磋商或谈判，更谈不上达成协议。这场关税战是由美方发起的，中方的态度是一贯的、明确的，打奉陪到底，谈大门敞开。对话谈判必须是平等、尊重、互惠的。
That's hilarious. So the main reason I bring this up is because the markets are based off of just strict human emotion, right? So Trump can say something and the markets rally, and then you find out, according to China, it may not even be true. The whole Jerome Powell thing that I'll show another clip, he walks back. So like he literally was saying one thing and then he goes out and, kind of retracts that statement. And I don't really care one way or another. My main thesis, and I put this up in my chat, is that as long as Bitcoin maintains its long-term trend, meaning it doesn't break below previous cycle all-time highs, so anything, it can wick below that, but basically we caught a weekly close below like 65, 67K, then I would just be completely confused and definitely uncertain because I would have no idea what the hell is going on at that stage. So everything else, I kind of don't care because my underlying thesis is, has the fundamentals of Bitcoin changed? The answer for that is no. Technically, it's yes, because they've improved. It's gotten more robust, more secure, more decentralized, stronger hash rates, more adoption, more frameworks, administration rules, all this stuff. So it's changed for the better. And then the other question is, do I still think it'll be here for the long haul? And the answer is yes. So then the outcome is just to stack sats and kind of ignore everything else. But it's funny to see how quickly these things can change. And we're going to go to a clip over on Altcoin Daily of literally that swing coming from Trump, which is a good thing that if this is true, we really don't know, but if it is indeed moving in that direction, this is a good thing.
Money is flowing back into the crypto market now that Donald Trump, Scott Bessent, and the White House at large are now signaling they're de-escalating the tariff and trade war.
9:40 or so this morning, the Treasury Secretary of the Wall Street Journal moving a story says, quote, White House considers slashing China tariffs, could be by half, to de-escalate the trade war.
So you have a very clear softening of the rhetoric over the last 24 hours. That is obvious to all of us.
Because we all remember, Trump, for the last couple months, has been shaking up markets with every comment.
Oh, he'll leave. If I ask him to, he'll be out of there. If I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me.
So it is very good for markets that Trump is changing his tune and now making every effort to bring back confidence in market sentiment, even softening his whole position now, saying he has no intention of firing Jerome Powell and it was just taken out of context.
None whatsoever. Never did. The press runs away with things. No, I have no intention of firing him. I would like to see him be a little more active in terms of his idea to lower interest rates. It's a perfect time to lower interest rates. If he doesn't, is it the end? No, it's not. But it would be good timing. She could have taken place earlier. But no, I have no intention to fire him.
And now, with the regulatory environment for crypto opening up in the U.S. every day, getting better and better.
A top priority of my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through a rational, coherent, and principled approach. We will work to ensure that the United States is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and to do business.
Wall Street.
So literally, if that is true, that we do have some frameworks and they're negotiating with China, as he said, and going to be rolling back on tariffs, then that is good. Because yeah, it did take the entire world by storm and caused a bunch of FUD. Definitely the uncertainty going on. But as I said, we really don't know. Trump, I think, just enjoys misdirection. He's like some kind of magician. He just likes to make a lot of noise, put out some misdirection, get people to look over one way and get crazy, jump out of windows, and as he stated, get a little yippy and make decisions. And probably behind the scenes, he's making moves that benefit him because obviously he knows what he's going to do in the long run. But all of us are kind of just trying to figure out what side of the bed he woke up on today and what the hell he's going to tweet or say on True Social. And you cannot make investment decisions based off of that. So for me, as I said, my thesis hasn't changed. Stay humble, stack sats. And I just wanted to show that I believe the market has shifted and that we are indeed moving back towards a positive bull market cycle. I don't believe we're going to see those low 70s again now at this stage based off where M2 is at and all the things that are actually moving forward and changing in the landscape. So you guys let me know what you think. Have we shifted? Has the boat turned around? Do you still think there's more downside? Do you make bets based off of what's trending and what's being posted on Twitter coming out of different administrators' mouths and comments online? Let me know what you guys are doing. Smash that HBO special. Help brother out. Like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.